the bar was so low, I agreed for him to beat me so his friends can find him dominant.
You win. No,
So
guys, we have a leader.
And he's like, babe, let me just slap you. Whoa, man, you're such a man. Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy in Between.
It's Definitely TMI.
Hi, please, guys.
Are you talking too close to after I've talked? Oh. Because I said, hi guys, Murugi Munyi here. And immediately afterwards you said, it's Lydia K.
Yeah. Actually, this episode comes out
It's
before
before,
that
yeah,
other one.
so-
So anyway, there were some comments on our previous episode about how I am talking so much. Murugi has lost her voice.
Just a timid little
Just
sheep.
a timid.
Just
So
a
that's what
tiny
we are
little sheep,
laughing
yeah.
about. To make sure that she's done
Yeah.
before I
She speaks.
continue.
Yeah, we can't risk anything. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want to lose my voice.
Stand up. But we did say thank you for your feedback. In the next episode that's coming, we did say thank you for your
see.
feedback, and
Yeah.
we're really being more observant. But do you know
Exactly.
something, by the way?
Yeah.
I've realized there's something about in my character development that needs to be, it's not everything that needs to be investigated or is there truth. Like we
Yeah.
are in the content space, the amount of views about yourself on a daily basis,
Yeah.
too much.
Exactly.
Too much.
Last time that this happened, I said that, and you said, but when enough people say it, then
I've
it's
changed
like,
my mind.
Oh,
No, I've changed my
why?
mind because there's a lot of context that people miss
Yeah.
just because they're just viewing the
Yeah,
experience,
yeah.
and like half the time whatever is happening between us is not an experience that they're able to tap into.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like for me the most important would be like us checking in with each other and
Yeah.
being like, do you
Do
feel
you
like
feel
I've
that
done this
way?
or whatever? Is
That
there
makes
something that I
sense.
can change? Because that's like it's different. Someone saying it looks like versus
Yeah.
do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Do I feel that
do you
way?
feel
And that makes
stifled?
it different. Yeah,
Do you feel
exactly. I
stifled?
don't. I feel fine. Thank you.
Done.
That's it. Follow us on our social media handles: TMI Podcast KE, Murugi Munyi, Lydia KM. People who watch our videos but don't follow us on like social media, for me, it's like you're getting half the experience because the other
Big
half of
time.
the experience are there. If you guys know how much work we put into do reels, photo shoots, I don't know what, to just like create this nice little cute TMI podcast community, please just follow us there. Follow us everywhere, guys. TikTok, Instagram, even on our own pages, you may now speak. It's like,
Our social media manager watching us the reels. Actually,
Oh,
all the
all
reels
the
we
reels.
create, she just asked us to do some reels. We're like,
don't even
get out of here.
But what is it in our minds? Which whenever we are planning for shoot days, we're always like, oh yeah, we can do. Why?
Because we will project our energy.
And you know what? I love that for us, and I hope I never lose that because I love being over projected. You know, that's my thing.
That's
It's
your
always
brand.
to over project, and then at least if you shoot for the moon, you land in the sky. But if you're shooting,
Sometimes
for
you land on the ground, babe.
yeah, but if you're aiming for the ground, now you're landing in hell, and that's worse. So at least this other you landed on the ground. That's what I'd say.
Big time.
Thank you.
Speaking of hell, we have recently
Oh, great
realized
segue.
we have recently come to the realization that the bar truly is in hell.
Was.
Ooh, I love it.
Thank
the
you.
bar was in hell.
Thank you.
If you have not seen the trend on TikTok, on Instagram, many ladies, did you share some of yours?
I did.
Yeah, including
Embarrassingly
Murugi,
so.
have been sharing how low the bar was in like certain experiences in relationships and how they've changed, right?
Yeah.
At least when we say the bar was, you're no longer there. You're
Yeah.
no longer there. So today we'll be sharing some of the examples of what how low the bar was, including some of our own.
Yeah, actually, though, what makes me sad is that when I see some of these things, especially when I see the emojis that people put at the end of them, I'm like, are you out of that situation or are you still in that situation?
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who it's like they've said, oh, the bar was so low, I paid for him rent, but someone somewhere is still paying for him rent.
And you know what? When I see someone said who I used to be someone, and then someone's like, that's still someone's life.
Oh my God.
That is still
Yeah.
someone's
Well,
life.
maybe for me, the hope is that once you see your current reality in someone's, the bar was so low, I hope that is a statement to you that perhaps the bar is low for you right now and maybe you need to change that.
Please.
I would say that.
Please.
Okay.
It's International Women's Month, guys. If we don't stand up now, we'll be sat down forever.
Yeah, exactly.
We will.
My first one, the bar was so low that I would drop him and pick him up from work and he still cheated.
Why were you doing that?
Because it's like where we lived was close to each other and I had a car and he didn't have a car. So it just made
the one
sense.
who crashed your car?
No, the one before that one.
And, oh, baby.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. And it was like, but at the time I was doing it, it didn't feel like a sacrifice. Although now in hindsight, it's just kind of like, wow. And the thing is that I'm the one who offered. He didn't even ask. I'm the one who offered. Because as a woman, what is it in us that is always like, I want to appear valuable. I want to appear indisposable. I want to appear as like, wow, I can't get up. I can't get anybody as amazing as her. No, he still
No.
cheated. And our relationship was like literally 3 months old.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And in fact, what ends up happening is just like, oh, so I'm
Yeah.
getting all of this for nothing.
Yeah.
I can find somebody else.
But
What
the sex
is
was
that?
so good though.
It was?
Yeah, it was
At least
really
you got
nice.
something.
At least
I got something.
Thank you.
Hey, breathe.
Yes.
Breathe as you share this one. The bar was so low that man to date does not know what my orgasm is like.
Oh, damn. Wow. To date. Well, his opportunity.
No.
No. Okay.
To date.
Yeah. Actually, a lot
Does
of
your man
No.
know what your orgasm is like?
there's so many people who submitted about that. Something about like, oh, they just the sex was horrible the whole time.
The
and
sex wasn't
whatever.
horrible. It was
Oh.
just because he was so self-centered.
Oh my God.
What's your orgasm? And actually, guys, I am saying this and I stand on this. A man who is not keen on your orgasm is not a good man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I disagree.
There are so many
I'm
ways
here to defend the men.
to defend men.
Yeah.
You're
Don't put you want people to cancel you already. You're on
Why?
thin ice.
Why?
You're on thin ice is in between us. They're like,
What have I
why
done?
did she laugh when Murugi said she had a happy marriage? Hey. This is the reason why I'm here to defend them.
Okay, let me
Okay,
finish my
fast.
case.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You see, you're stifling my voice.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm
Have a
losing my
voice.
voice.
Raise your
I'm losing
yeah,
my
yeah,
voice.
yeah.
So let me tell you why. What I've realized, and I'm talking about not a kienyeji man who's like, you haven't been conditioned around this.
Yeah.
A man who has been conditioned and
Okay.
is like up here
Okay,
knowing
you've said.
wagwan. He knows,
Yeah.
but he is not interested in it. That inherent selfishness cuts across everything.
Right.
It
yeah.
does, because there's a goodness in a man who's keen to pleasure you, and that literally, he's usually more softer with you. He's more concerned about your comfort in general. Like even the way just he handles you,
Yeah.
you
it's
see like there's
oh,
a
he's
concern.
really- yes.
I-
Yes.
Listen,
Yeah, okay, fine. That's not the kind of man that the opposite of that man is not the one that I'm defending.
Okay.
Because there's those ones who it's like a selfish man, he'll be selfish in everything, like period. Like everything is gonna be selfish. I think the kind of man that I'm defending is the one who you can tell he's concerned, you can tell he wants to, but he has
hasn't given
limited
it.
capacity.
That's okay.
different, yeah. And in fact, better if he's willing to learn, if he's willing to like show me what I can do or like whatever. That's the kind of man who I feel like I can defend that man.
and guess what?
You
As
see,
I
yeah.
said, a man who's not concerned with it.
Yeah.
This is the one who can't give you.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's just like trying to work it out. It's a bit awkward. All of that.
Yeah.
That is the man who the concern.
Yes.
Like just like when he comes, it's gotta happen.
A man who believes that she comes first.
That's the girl.
There
She's
you
at
go.
work. She is at
I'm awake.
work.
That's it.
Ding ding ding. As I said, it's International Women's Month.
Yeah.
8th of March was. I'm sorry you didn't get celebrated. Let's move on. You didn't buy flowers. It's fine. Let's move on. And
Sorry, point on that one. I'll say it after you're done with the plug.
no, go on. Say.
So I was like, Zach has never bought me anything for International Women's Month. And to me, it's not Women's Day. It's not even a thing. But there's this guy who Dora was seeing around that time. And he got her flowers and 2 gifts and like a gift. And I was like, suddenly I was looking at Zach like, you can't even do anything. Can't even buy me a gift for it. And whereas before, it was never an issue.
Yeah.
Just goes to show comparison is a thief of joy.
It is true.
Truly.
It's true as a thief. It's
Yeah.
maybe your man is also a thief of joy,
Oh
but
my God.
this time it seems that comparison is the thief
Indeed,
of joy.
indeed.
But I think everyone does that as a woman.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway, Beducated are here to remind us that you come first. You being the lady, you come first.
Yes.
And this month, we were getting 10% off with our code TMI podcast.
Exactly.
If you do not know if you do not know Beducated is basically where we go for all our information to understand our sexuality, to understand how to be better in bed, to basically get expert, not Lydia Murugi,
Yeah.
expert info on how to have a better sex life, to have a more fulfilled sex life. And 100%, whether we like it or not, there is an orgasm gap. Women are still not taking up space as much in the bedroom. And if you want to be like a more sexually empowered woman, go on to Beducated. There are so many courses that you're going to find that are going to help you feel more in touch with your power, to be able to show up in the bedroom and raise the bar.
Exactly.
Raise from hell, at least to
at
earth.
least the ground, at least, and we can be levitating a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they recognize that women's pleasure is central to pleasure in general.
In the
because,
world.
because generally you always see, even sometimes when you watch, like if you watch pornography, it's always so man-centered. Do you ever notice that? Do you ever see, like, it's like the end of the sexual experience is always when the man has had his orgasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with my Japanese
Japanese
dreads.
with dreads. Oh, Japanese pygmy with dreads. Yeah, I guess yours is like very unique, unless you have a very specific, yeah.
I'm
but
joking.
I love
That never happened, guys. I was just being dramatic.
I don't know. Pull up your history right now. Pull up your phone history right now. Anyway, I love the fact that they're recognizing that women's pleasure deserves to be prioritized and deserves to be discussed. Okay, so even beyond that 10% that the TMI podcast code is giving you, they already have 50% off for International Women's Month. It'll be locked for a year, which is fantastic. And guess what? Once you sign up and you subscribe, you have a 14-day money back guarantee. So 14 days for you to go on there and experience and see all the courses. There's written material, there are videos, there are practicals. Imagine being given a practical tonight. I want you to go and do X and Y and Z. I want you to go and try this yoni massage.
Ready.
I want you. Oh yeah, those are exactly what you're gonna need. Those 2 specifically. Maybe these. No, mostly. No, actually, these middle 2, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, really? But 3?
It depends on the night.
It's just, listen. Yeah, exactly. No, we're taking pleasure very seriously here. And whether it's like pleasure woman to woman, whether it's pleasure, self-pleasure, whether it's pleasure of you with a man, whatever kind that you are interested in learning about, Beducated has it. So please go check them out and invest in your own self-pleasure. In fact, if you and your man have been struggling and like Lydia's ex, you two have never known an orgasm together, or like he has never known your orgasm, maybe get Beducated so that you guys can now at least be having, I don't know.
At least let somebody know your orgasm.
Let someone know.
And let's start with you.
Yeah.
Let's start with
Do you
you.
know what I was discussing the other day with someone? I feel like sometimes having an orgasm, like those, like a proper orgasm, can be a little bit embarrassing.
It can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like
I'm thinking about one right now.
do you want to describe to us how just
No,
say,
I would evaporate and I would
You
turn
see,
into this
this
couch
is
right
the
now.
thing. Yeah, I will literally jump off this balcony. I feel like the way that you orgasm with reckless abandon when you're alone.
Yeah.
Like when it's just you and your rose. I don't know if anyone can ever be exactly like
Oh,
that
really?
with no.
I can.
No, you
And I
can't.
live
Actually,
in shame.
No,
I do live in shame. I'm not saying that I don't. I do live in constant shame. But I do it. I cannot. No, I'm not holding back.
really.
Let's go. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever like feel like I can just like
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I
like,
do,
be
for
100% like this is just like you're just like the toe curling, like you're just like your legs
You
are going
don't?
different.
I don't even scream.
Actually, I do,
Oof.
but I have to. I don't know if I can do that without alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, really.
No.
I feel like with
Practice.
alcohol, I feel like I can. I'm just like, whatever. But like when I'm completely sober, no, I feel like even when I'm like in the extreme nini of release, they still like, but remember that you still have to look at each other's eyes tomorrow
Really?
and raise kids together.
I
Yeah.
don't have that. And do you know what?
I
This
have.
I think has come post leaving alcohol. Because tutadu.
You see that?
And
That's
I
the
can't
thing.
exactly. I can't keep like managing my orgasm. So it's just like
Yeah, so post alcohol now you have, you see, like maybe
And
my
now
mind is
that's it.
socialized to that. It's
and I
like,
get it. And I was too. The first time I had sex without alcohol, I was like, wait,
yeah,
so now
no, I can't.
you know, and maybe I didn't get, I wasn't so used to it, but it's like I knew it's like, okay, this one is this because I'll drink again whenever and then we'll do. But now it's like this is it. And so yeah,
no.
I've gotta be. Is it like wow, that's crazy?
Maybe
Yeah.
this is a hindrance to me quitting alcohol, because in my mind I do strongly believe that I can't have the kind of sex I have when, like, not like super drunk, but like 2 drinks, you know, like the loose kind of like
Yeah.
you know, super like
Yeah.
confident, whatever.
Yeah.
That for me is like I have my best sex when I'm in that space, and now I'm like, I just have to figure it out on my own.
But now
sober.
it's like life without it. It's like now you learn. That's the thing. Like you learn to have all of those like reckless abandon without alcohol.
How?
You just do because you get used to the fact that you don't have an escape. This is it, baby.
No, I feel like life is hard enough. I want the escape.
Is life
Once
that
in
hard?
one, yeah. Sometimes I just want the
No,
escape. I'm sorry.
I've got to say, sometimes, guys, actually, this week, last week, literally, I think it was Friday, I was like, what would solve all my problems right now is 3 shots of tequila. 3 shots of tequila would change everything for me. So I get it. Baby, I'm not at all judging. No. 3
Yeah.
Don Julio shots.
I'll take them for you tonight. Don't worry, I'll take them for you, okay? But you know what? I've realized though that I no longer drink when I'm having extremes of emotions, because I've
said
seen how
that.
easy it is to rely on it. Like when I'm extremely sad, I won't. Like when Ethan was going through that, whatever, I was just like, no, this is too intense a period for me. I can't drink.
I
Because
think that's really
yeah.
smart, Joe. And also a lot
Yeah.
of self-discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you come from the kind of backgrounds we come from. Girl, you can't. Yeah. Oh.
The alcohol little
Addiction is here.
here.
It's always here.
Yeah.
Ready,
Yeah.
ready to overtake you, ready to overcome you.
Ready to overcome.
Right. This is my question with regards to orgasm, the orgasm spectrum. If, say, in a week we have sex 4 times, how many of those 4 times should one be expecting to come first? All of them? 3 out of 4?
If there's
2 out
coming,
of 4?
I am
One
expected
of-
to come first.
really?
Yeah.
So that's versus the reality of, like, let me say, like, let's say out of 4 times, if you're coming 1 out of 4 times, is that acceptable?
It depends. Like, first of all, a lot of times, like how I can make myself come, like maybe twice back to back. So it's like maybe when we come today, tomorrow I just want like the intimacy. I just want to be, you know. Sometimes
You lost me at intimacy.
sometimes I can't be bothered
Yeah.
to lay here like this. You know, sometimes it's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know, but when it's like, oh, I'm down for it. That's what I expect. And to be honest, I love it. I love
Yeah.
when I'm on.
Right. Me, I've realized that my cycle very, very heavily determines whether or not I'm like, oh my God, I really just want to be given an orgasm or whatever. When I'm in that ovulation phase, that's like peak for me. It's like 3 days before, 3 days after. The rest of my cycle, follicular phase, luteal period, whatever, I'm just like, I literally couldn't be asked. Like, I'll be here to do it because, like, whatever, we're married or whatever. But like, if it's not that ovulation phase, you could be dead to me.
See, now in ovulation,
Yeah.
you're dead to me.
That's so crazy.
Everyone, but do you know what? I actually did find.
I think that was a
found my
mistake.
people. I found my people. I found someone who's just like, I know everyone keeps saying that, you know, ovulation is like, they're so horny, they're so hot, they're glowing, they're looking so amazing. But I'm not that way. I found my people. In fact, every time when I'm in a really bad mood and I don't know why, as soon as I check my calendar,
Ovulation.
ovulation day.
I don't even
And not even
understand
a day
that.
before or a day after. It's always ovulation day. I am moody.
Where are you right now?
Luteal.
Me, I'm in follicular, I think, because my period just finished. So ovulation in 3 days. Ooh, it says fertility is high. Wow, and hata napelekwa date leo.
And somebody said that you are likely to have a baby soon.
By the way, guys, I'm not. I'm not likely to have a baby at
Yeah.
all. No.
I'm in my luteal phase right now. So,
No.
but sometimes my luteal is just like, in fact, throughout my cycle, I feel like nothing. How everyone is always saying, Sijui, my energy, no.
No.
But ovulation day,
What?
I struggle. But
So
the
when
rest
do you
of the
have your
time,
most energy? In what part of the cycle?
imagine I don't really see much difference. Like
Oh.
maybe like even sometimes on my period, someone's like, oh, I went to the gym and then no, it
Oh.
varies. Sometimes on my period I have lots of energy. Like I don't have that consistent expectation apart
Right.
from that one.
That's so
That
crazy.
one, yeah.
Mine follows exactly the way it says that it's supposed to be.
Really?
On luteal, I'll just be like,
Yeah.
during my period, it'll be like just mid.
Yeah.
Follicular, which is now, I don't know why my energy is low because usually it's like,
You feel really
I feel
good.
usually really good.
Yeah.
Ovulation is just like sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. This is actually something really good to get like apps. You have Flow.
Yeah.
I have period calendar, and what like on my, or even maybe on yours, you can tap onto the symptoms that you feel,
Yeah.
and then it starts predicting based on you, because you know you're
Exactly.
unique. So what
Yeah.
are your symptoms every day, and then now you start to kind of, you are seeing like the predictors make sense to what
Yeah.
you're expected to feel.
Yeah, is it Dr. Vundi who talks
Yes.
about this? She even has
All
like
the
a
time.
class or something. Does
She has a
class?
clinic for women
right.
specific. If you
Yeah.
have what's PPD,
Yeah.
PPD, if you have basically what Dr. Vundi is doing, which is so smart,
Yeah.
is merging all of the women hormones, breastfeeding, and mental health, because they do affect each other.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
affect each other so much. She has a clinic. We can leave. I'll
The
leave
details
the details
below,
down
yeah.
below. If you're looking, if you're dealing with some of those, like your breastfeeding is affecting your mental health, or
There you
has-
go.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
she has one.
amazing. And there's so much research about like, what kind of workouts you should be doing, like when you're in this phase, and then what kind of workouts here. I don't know if I personally subscribe to that because me, I just like working out at my gym, and I don't
And I
know,
have
I'm
to
not
go.
gonna. That's the thing. I must. Your strength class needs to be strength. And you know what? My cardio class needs to be cardioed. And like, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go regardless.
Me
but
too.
what I realize is that when I go certain weeks, when I know my energy is lower, I'm not gonna now force myself to lift super heavy when I know I'm really not in the
Give
mood. So I'll
yourself-
go and I'll do something,
Yeah.
but I might not do the 65 kg, which is heavier than our body
Guys,
weight.
I am doing. I am what's it? What's it?
Deadlifting.
I'm deadlifting 65 kgs.
Which is heavier than her body weight.
I didn't know she
wants us
noted
to
this.
let- Yeah.
You really do.
I do.
You really
I'm
pay
listen, if no man comes, I'm willing. I may be young, but I'm ready.
2
Thank
seconds
you.
after moving,
Thank you. And me, you know,
messages her.
No.
Later.
You know, me have Beducated, so I'll be good to you.
You be good to me.
No, girl, come on. Right, the bar was so low, I booked a hotel room for us to smash, and later he asked me to leave and brought another girl.
I think the bar was solo because you left. How did
Yeah. And under what circumstances are you booking the hotel room? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like as
so
women,
that
we
one
make things
red?
really, yeah.
That one is like,
Yeah.
I get it.
We make
Whatever.
it too easy for them sometimes. It's like, here, please, just like take advantage of me.
But in a situation where he can bring a girl and he knows you're going to leave, what's paying for a hotel room? What's paying for a hotel room?
My hope is that you learned a very valuable lesson from that experience.
Exactly. I once carried, the bar is so low, I once carried a rolling pin from Meru town all the way to Nkubu just so we could make chapati together over the weekend. Looking back, I think I had lost my mind.
I think that's romantic.
That's cute. Like,
I
did you
think
do
it's
something
so
bad?
cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
Unless it's like, okay, first of all, a rolling pin is literally like, isn't it super cheap? Why are you carrying? Connie, he couldn't buy one over there. Yeah, but it is cute. Unless you're the kind for just like, oh my God, she cooks for me, but then he's not giving you anything and you're not getting anything in that relationship. The bar was so low, I went back to him after he said he doesn't think I'm pretty and even sent me screenshots of his boys talking shit. I feel really bad about that one because that's giving low self-esteem. I'm so sorry.
None of these are giving high, so let's start there.
Oh,
But
dear
that one
Lord.
has gone.
That one's
That's
pretty
pretty, because that one
bad.
is like he's overtly like, this is in your face.
Yeah.
But actually, all of them are just so terrible.
I know.
Oh my
Even
God.
let me think of another one of my own. You have one?
Yeah, the bar was so low that when he failed to turn up for our date, I went to check on him at his house to find out what happened.
Oh. But that's not, is that the bar being, okay, some of these I'm even wondering, is the bar low or are we
Is
just
your bar
concerned?
low? Is their bar low or is my bar low?
In fact, that's what it should be. My bar was so low.
Because the bar, you know, because
My bar.
yeah, is it the bar or your bar?
Because you see, that one I can understand if, like, in the context of, you see, I always come from the perspective of, like, let's explain why this would be whatever.
And I think that's a wonderful
yeah,
attitude, by the way.
If, for example, this is somebody who he's been a consistent guy, and this one time he
I
didn't
don't
show
think
up,
so.
I would be like, oh, I'm concerned because it's not like him.
You know, I told Joe, I'm really glad that she did get married at 26 because they would chew her out here.
I would not be managing out here.
Finish her.
We wouldn't even have this podcast because every week we'd be crying.
Oh my God, we would be packing bags and repacking them. This one,
Yeah,
You-
I don't know. Yeah, me. The bar was so low that I was told that I'm asking for too much attention, and I reduced asking for it. Oh, I know. I know. Yeah, and if you're an anxious attacher, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, because now, just imagine,
Yeah.
all you need is affirmation, and like all you need is.
But you know, I've realized not everyone can give that. That
Oh.
reassurance, that affirmation, that sweetness and warmth. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best things that I've gotten from therapy is there's this one time that my therapist, I can't remember what it was, an issue I was facing with Zach, and I told her, oh, I am scared to bring this up because I don't know how he's going to receive it or what he's going to say back. And she's like, why don't you consider just starting the conversation with exactly what you need from the person that you're having the
Yeah.
conversation with. And that literally, when I tell you, it has changed my life and my relationships, where I was like, yeah, you can't just be like, Lydia, I want to talk to you about something, and what I'm looking for is validation and affirmation.
Yeah.
So then now you know, versus, or when I come and say what I'm looking for is a solution to my problem
Yeah.
because I need help thinking through it. Then you know what you to give me, and then if you're not able to give me, you can also just say, I
Yeah.
don't have a solution. I can't figure it out,
Yeah.
and that has helped my relationship with Zach so much, because I come and I tell him, and I'm like, what I'm looking for is not an excuse, it's not a whatever, it's for you to acknowledge that this thing hurt me.
Yeah. Done.
And guess what? It's even easier for them because
he's
he's
like,
like,
"Oh, that's what
oh,
I'm gonna
that's
do."
all, exactly. And then everybody is happy because now I told you what I wanted, you gave it to me, and here we are.
Yeah, but I can see the struggle
Yeah.
with that. Like, I think a lot of women struggle with that. Because
Exactly.
it's like you're trying to be palatable, you don't want to cause a lot. And also, you want him
To
do
just
it,
know.
just know
Yeah,
that I
no.
need validation and reassurance.
Yeah, your best relationship will start when you are over that. Let him just know.
Yeah.
No,
No.
trust me. Trust me. Okay. Thank you.
The bar was so low that his other girlfriend would wake up every morning just to insult me, and he would tell me, she's not insulting you, she has a boyfriend abroad.
God. Sometimes when I think of some of the drama that we went through in our 20s, I was like, did we not know that there were so many other men out here? Like literally millions and millions and millions of men out here.
But no, I wanted that one. So
And like, why? Literally, this person was giving you absolutely nothing.
perfect. Bingo! Ding ding, that's the one.
The bar,
Kijana.
a person,
Panda.
panda kitanda.
Panda
Okay.
That's the one
That's
I
the
want.
one.
That's the one.
Actually,
I
we
want.
all at some point had such, I guess it's like lack mentality.
We
of
did.
Just like, is that what it is? I think it
Yeah.
must be that.
It's lack mentality. It's not being able to take up enough space, and you will see that like in as many situations with women as like it's everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And that belief of like this, maybe this is the best it gets. Maybe this is the best kind of man that I can get.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the only man I'm getting. And if I let go of this one, I'm never going to have
And
another
then
one.
being conditioned to believe that you're not enough without a man. So it's just like I better.
Oh my God.
I better. And I don't know what cloth I've been cut from, but I've realized that thing that makes someone stay somewhere where it's not aligned, that blood is not in me at all.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's because of a combination of not being not succumbing to the condition of like you're not worthy without a man, and also like just if you're happy, why can't I be happy?
Right?
If you're happy giving me nothing,
Then
why can't I be happy
happy?
getting what I want?
It's
I
true.
don't understand why you get to be happiest.
You're right.
Yeah,
But
no.
women generally don't think that way, because you're always
Yeah.
going to put yourself last, and that's
No.
super
Oh my
unfortunate.
God, not
Here's
anymore.
one I've just thought of mine. The bar was so low. There was a guy that I once dated that all our dates were in the club, and every single time we had sex was in a club toilet. Every single time. And all our dates were in the club. So that's the only time that we would ever meet, and that's the only time we'd ever fuck. Man, I really want to give that young Murugi such a hug. She went through too much. Yeah.
I think you win, babe.
No.
No, I
They
don't know
are-
if I've heard one. Or maybe because of who I know you to
Exactly.
be. I expect your
But
butt.
yeah, no. Imagine.
That's a low one.
Imagine going to the club knowing that's the time that you're actually going to see your boyfriend and have sex with him. in
And
the
he was
club
your boyfriend,
toilet.
like he asked you to be his
Well,
girlfriend.
to me, let me say to me, he was my boyfriend. I don't know if to him I was his girlfriend.
Did he ask you?
No,
Oh, then baby,
course
you can't
not.
go around calling
Yeah.
that man your boyfriend. That's not okay.
Well, I did, baby.
That
I
you used to
did
tell
go
me that's
around.
your
Yeah, I was
boyfriend.
like, I have a boyfriend. Yeah.
What did I tell you guys? Zach saved her,
He
snatching
did.
her
Yeah,
up.
they would be chewing me. Oh, they would be chewing me.
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I feel so sad for my younger self.
Oh,
The bar was so
it's
low.
okay. Everything
Everyone,
worked out, honey.
that's
all right?
it. Thank you.
Okay.
The bar was so low. He told me he's in love with someone else, and I asked, "What does she have that I don't have, so I can rectify?" Do you wanna share your own story, which is similar to that?
Oh, right. So today I said that one of my exes cheated on me with like a girl who was like very, very slim and like very deep tone, like dark skin. And every time I used to see a woman like that, you know, I was saying like now if it's like a matter of you're comparing yourself with somebody who's lighter, you're like bleach.
Right.
You to do. I used to just look at her. Or even women who had that kind of structure and just be like, why not me?
Why can't I be
You
that
know,
way?
like
Yeah.
maybe I think I was even trying to be slimmer. Maybe that's what he needed. I was too big. This time I'm like max size 8. But I'm like, no.
You know what I wonder? I wonder now,
Damn.
like you guys who watch TMI, and like a lot of our audience are like teenage, like let's say
Or like early
18,
20s.
exactly, early 20s. By virtue of the fact that you guys watch this and you see us being like, oh my God, I was like this, I can't believe I thought this, I can't believe I felt like I was not good enough. Does it mean that they're not going to experience that? Because I almost feel like it's a rite of passage for you to be in these circumstances, which later on you're like, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah, I think it is. And also it's like you can learn vicariously through other people. I like, for example, one of the things that for sure I think I learned is I definitely don't need to have a baby. I don't need a baby right now. That's just what I
Or right
knew.
now or like ever.
Like as in not one of the lessons I learned is like a friend of ours had a baby at 16 and I was like, so no, you can learn some things vicariously through other people. Not that I ever wanted one, but I was like, I think I was more diligent just by virtue of watching someone experience motherhood at a really young age. I was just like, my back is not strong enough. I just knew, you know? So you can learn vicariously through other people, but some other things,
Yeah.
some of the things that happen. In fact, I'm so grateful for every single man who has come through this road, because every time when, you know, if you're awake, you're going to pick up things that you can learn about yourself to make yourself like stronger or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so grateful.
You know, sometimes that the thought of that now just makes me sad because I'm like, oh my God, the things my daughters may experience. Or sometimes when I'm speaking to my little sister and I'm like, whenever she talks, it's like, wow, she's so mature. But at the same time, I'm like, I can see that between your 21 and my 35, I know in between there are things that you will experience that will make you a different person. And some of those things you can't even now even describe. It doesn't matter how many episodes of TMI you watch, how many whatever. And another thing I think I was discussing with my friend Yvonne is that the reality is that many of us, I think there's even a scientific principle that describes this exact thing I'm going to talk about. But a lot of us think we are the exception in a lot of circumstances.
You say that actually.
And we've seen so many people go through this exact path, but you're like, no, I know that mine is not going to end like that, even if it's the exact same situation, which is a good thing because we're always hopeful that ours, exactly. And that's the only thing really that gets us up out of bed in the morning is hope.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you just be like, this is exactly what happened with my sister. But me, I've decided I'm going to do this exact thing, even if she's telling me, listen, I've been there and I don't think this is a good idea. But you always like, no, me, I'm the one who knows because my circumstance is different. Me, I know. Me, I've even watched TMI. So of course, me, I know
It's not
better.
gonna happen for me.
So that when it does happen, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
My.
But the bit in your brain that was not smart enough to know that it's gonna happen to you needed that.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I wish it wasn't like that because sometimes I just look at young girls and I'm like,
would you change your experiences in your life?
Yeah.
Like what? You didn't need that boyfriend of the class.
I did.
That one I can tell you.
Actually, just some of the things that I just wonder if there are better ways to learn these lessons. Are there easier
Life
ways
is
to
the
learn
best
these
teacher.
lessons?
No.
No,
Life is the best teacher.
I don't want my daughters to go through these things. Do you know what I mean?
No. Life is the best teacher. And sometimes when the bar is low, but eventually at some point you get tired of the bar being low and you're like, I want better.
When was that point? Was it at 30?
No.
Younger.
No, definitely younger. I've been taking up more space a lot earlier,
Mm.
but for sure, the development shot up at 30.
Yeah, I feel like 30 for me, when I just think of me before 30 and me after 30, I just feel like there's I don't know if it's like, I would call it a dramatic shift, but there was definitely a change in me.
Yeah.
A change of just like, no.
Yeah.
Actually,
and I think a
no.
lot of times that's why we are conditioned to believe that after 30 a woman goes to dust, because the patriarchy knows
Yeah.
who you become after. Powerful.
Actually, yeah. And with every passing year, because I'm now at 35, oh my God, I feel literally so untouchable. I can't even imagine Murugi at 40. Like the restedness I have in myself, the kind of just like there are situations which I just will not allow myself to be in.
Like, why?
There's discomforts that I'm just like, why? No.
And funny enough,
No.
for me, I actually realized that a lot of the ways that I could see where I wasn't taking up space was during sex. So it's like those were the times where I was just like, oh, so I'm still afraid of his view. So I still don't think that I need to be more patient.
Right.
And funny enough, I think one of the things that opened me up sexually was being able to make myself climax, so that my pleasure was mine. So it's not like
Right.
I'm gonna have to run after you to be able to get my pleasure. And I think
my
even though we're talking about Beducated, she comes first. It's like it also, that can be more about like you also.
I come first.
I
come
come
first to me.
I come first to me, and I can make myself come too. Like my own
Exactly.
pleasure comes number one. They have a course on female orgasm, right? So those are 6 ways that you can be able to help yourself climax in like a special way, so that your pleasure is not so tied to men. And I think the less
Exactly.
it was, the more I could take up space with men.
Exactly. They actually have research that they have done very recently, which shows that women who own their pleasure experience twice the sexual satisfaction.
Yep.
What does owning your pleasure mean to you? Let me tell you what owning my pleasure means to me. It means speaking up about what I want and what I don't want. Often I wouldn't usually speak up about what I don't want, but I'm very good at speaking up about what I
do
want.
want,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Owning my pleasure also means self-pleasure.
Definitely.
Exactly, means self-pleasure. It means that you are not the only source of my orgasm just because you're my
Listen.
husband. I also am a source of my orgasm, right? And then also it not being a thing of like, it is your responsibility to make me happy.
Yeah.
It is also my responsibility. You know, it's kind of like a shared responsibility, which is
Yeah.
how ideally everyone, even in a paired couple, should think about sex. Even if you're 3, even if you're 4, but it's my responsibility to make sure I get what I want out of the sexual experience.
100%
Yeah.
agree. For me, taking up space means however long it takes to make me come, it's fine.
No, if you're taking too long, Lydia.
Yet your jaw is stuck like.
No, I'm really good at blowjobs.
Trying to.
I'm really good at it, so it's not gonna take that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell yourself that. I know your back has been burning. Sometimes,
But
the
I'm
back
happy
be
to
burning.
do it, and you know, it's not bent over. It's like,
It's like this.
Thank
but
you.
after that, you don't feel that.
girl.
And you're like,
Cause and then the worst part, the worst is like when you're done with 10 minutes of that,
Yeah.
and now it's time for you to get on top.
I don't know. I think you're getting overworked, baby. Okay.
Yeah, but I like
Rest.
it.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You do like
I
it.
like that. Yeah.
No.
Some courses you guys can consider on Beducated on top of the one that she's mentioned. Yoni massage. How many of you guys have ever told your man, oh, you know what? You should give me a
this for
yoni
me."
massage.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's even fingering, in
Thank
case he
you.
doesn't know. No, Bob, not that way. This
Not
way.
that exactly. Actually, a lot of you guys said that your exes didn't know what they were doing with regards to squirting. If you've always been like, oh, me, I'm not a squirter. Is it that you're not a squirter, or do you just not know how to unlock that side of you? I for a long time didn't know that I was a squirter.
Until I did.
Alas. turns out we can squirt.
Turns out
Just
we
say you
can.
haven't yet, but you absolutely can.
Yes. Foreplay. Oh my God. People really talk about the fact that men don't know foreplay.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, foreplay is beyond the physical. Even for me, it's just like the daily day. Like you come in, you're sweet to me. You're like, hi, baby, you look beautiful. How's your day?
I know.
Okay.
Lydia is already.
Let's go. Let's go. You know, it's like
So all we have to do is show you care and concern.
Care and concern is the only way. That's the only place I feel safe. And I love that for me.
Wow, I love that for you
for me.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally, I feel like that's so easy for a man to give, but sometimes it's like
You would think, wouldn't you?
you would think.
You would think.
Libido and desire.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a really important one to go through. If you're like someone who's always struggling, like, oh, I have low libido, or is it something like, is it a physical problem that you're facing, or maybe you just haven't found what it is that makes you feel hot and bothered.
Woo.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's oral sex, there's experiments for couples, there's sex drive mismatch if you guys are going through that. That's another thing to be open about.
Yeah.
Baby, I want more.
Exactly.
And discuss it like that, because that's another thing. It tends to feel like the sex drive of the relationship is based on what the man wants.
Determined by him.
No, so you can actually take up space and you say you want more, but then you can explore that mismatch. There's just so many courses on Beducated.
Exactly.
If you're looking to just take up more space, even learn some of the ways to be able to communicate some of these things. It's not easy, let's be honest. It is a bit awkward, you know?
Also, I wanted to say that some of the courses on Beducated, because so much of like women's pleasure is very shame based. Like there's a lot of shame with regards to like women's pleasure, perhaps how someone was raised, because someone had DM'd me about this, about how even when they're watching episodes to do with sex on TMI, they kind of still feel ashamed, and like they kind of have to turn off the lights, and like no one, even if they're alone in their house. And I'm like, I recognize how if you're raised in a certain context, especially religious context, it can be difficult for you to be like, yeah, sex, orgasm, vagina, penis, to be like that. And it's perfectly normal. There are courses on Beducated that are not necessarily specific to do with like sex and at squirting and yoni and like whatever. There are some which are of course like the super kinky ones, but there's also others which, let's say you're married and you're still getting comfortable with the whole concept of sex. There's things about like confidence in the bedroom, speaking up, how to communicate. I hope we have said enough to convince you to get on Beducated, because this month would be a fantastic month. They have said it's International Women's Month. They are giving you 50% off already when you go on the site for a year.
Period.
Then when you use our code TMI podcast, you get an extra 10% off. So that's 60% off your annual subscription. Additionally, you get a 14-day money back guarantee, which means if you have paid 1,000 bob and after those 14 days you decide that actually I don't want Beducated, which I'm telling you it's not going to happen, because like it's literally the best thing ever. Sometimes by the way I go on Beducated, like sometimes you're like in bed and it's like, oh, you want to watch something, but you can't commit to starting a new series or starting a movie or something. Sometimes I'll just
learn.
Yeah, I'm just like, let me see what is there. What could I, get from there? And then sometimes the next day now I do the practicals. Let me tell you, follow me guys, follow us guys for
Follow
like some
me.
tips for for relationships. Anyway, use our code TMI podcast. We have left the link down below. Do not miss this offer. Give us your last one.
My last one. The bar was so low that he bought himself dinner every night instead of giving me money to buy food. We lived together, but I was basically a starving roommate instead of a girlfriend. He bought it up for himself alone.
That is the very basic of, do I care about you? I'm eating, I'm sat here, I'm eating, and you're sat there
I
not
would
eating.
feed my neighbor if I knew they didn't have food, but I wouldn't feed you, someone who are living together.
Yeah.
I think you win.
You definitely win. But also that's one of those instances where I'm just like, women, you need to have your own money, because you're depending on a man to feed you. Like the very basic is feeding. You're starving if he doesn't buy you food. We are not gonna be those people,
and
guys.
living with someone who
wow. The bar was so low, I bought a ring and put it on my finger so that other guys wouldn't hit on me. Meanwhile, he cheated multiple times.
That's terrible.
Sorry, some of mine are just so, I just like, these ones were actually on our TMI Instagram page and they're on the highlights if you want to go and see. The bar was so low, I agreed for him to beat me so his friends can find him dominant.
You win. No,
so
guys, we have a leader.
Like, babe, let me slap you. Let me just slap you. whoa, man, you're such a man.
Damn,
Damn,
and
whoa,
cry
yeah.
to emphasize the
That's it.
victimhood.
Run to the toilet.
I can't
No, that's
believe
actually-
you've done that.
That's actually crazy.
I think, guys, let's crown this winner. Dun dun dun
It's
dun
you,
dun
sweetie.
dun dun
It's
dun
you.
dun.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah. My only hope is that all of these things are written in past tense.
They are.
And that we have learned from
Amen.
them and we are no longer
Amen.
going there. Please.
Ooh.
Please.
If you get a whiff of somebody who doesn't care whether you live or die, leave.
Immediately, sweetie.
Leave. Yeah. I know they're saying I'm telling people to be leaving, but no.
Leave.
Like, let me tell you, I am such a supporter of relationships, by the way. I am a full lover girl. Being loved on, you come alive when you are adored. Those things really do matter. I'm so serious. But you hear what I said?
At what cost?
Being adored, being cared for, being listened to, someone being present. Those
Even
are the
just
things.
Someone liking you. Now at this point, it's like you're not even
No.
adored. Someone even just liking you guys.
Me, I've found that I come alive when I'm adored, and this is where I live. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So please, guys, let's
if
do
you are
better.
if you're here watching this episode and some of the things mentioned are things that you're living through right now, we want you to know that your bar is very low and you need to raise that bar.
You do.
That bar.
And you
was-
know, I hear people sometimes saying things like, "Ati, no, they're just saying that in public, like, oh no, qua ground." No, no.
Yeah. How about we start our own trend of like the bar was so high that because
The bar was so high that I left.
right, exactly.
That I left
Thank you.
because that was not good enough for me.
I want to see that on our whatever. I wonder how many people will have stories about the bar was so high.
Yeah. Okay, I know for sure we can get a lot from Kesinjoro. That bar is
Yeah.
that
The
bar,
bar
is.
was so high
Woo!
that let's
High
hear
bar.
that one. Brie, you can put first
Tell
on
us
our
one.
Instagram.
The bar was so high. I even know one of yours.
Yeah.
The bar was so high that when we first got together, he was helping me with rent or bills.
Oh yeah.
There you
Not
go.
helping me. He was paying it.
Oh, there you
Not
go.
helping me because you see, I'm your responsibility.
But I meant
now. I'm just
helping
a
me,
baby.
like paying for it. But I get the
Exactly.
wording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
There you go.
The bar was so high
high.
that I married him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank
Let's
you.
do that one. Do we have enough answers?
We will.
Yes.
Possibly. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do that on our Instagram page. Make sure you're following us to my podcast KE, Marugi Muni, Lydia KM. We're going to do one on the bar was so high.
Right.
And guys, if there's any time to stand up, it's International Women's Month. It's
Please.
International
please.
Women's Month.
Yep.
Stand up.
Stand up, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We will see you in our next one. We have already shot our next episode at the point at which we are shooting this one, and it's a good one. So trust me when I say please come back for the next episode. Okay?
Come back.
See you guys in the next one.
Bye.